Meantime, Senate has summoned the country's Interior Minister Rauf Aregbesola to appear before its committees on judiciary, legal matters and interior to give a brief on the constitutional issues required to implement the visa on arrival policy announced by President Muhammadu Buhari. This visa on arrival policy, which has attracted mixed feelings throughout the country, was mentioned by the President at the Aswan Forum for Sustainable Peace and Development in Africa held in Egypt. Galaxy's Godfrey Shomage reports that at plenary Tuesday, a motion seeking the President's policy follows the appropriate legislative channel before coming into force came under focus by way of a motion sponsored by Senator Olubunmi Adetunbi.
Concerned that neither the Federal Executive Council nor a member of the National Assembly has yet submitted to the National Assembly a bill for domestication to enable effect to be said African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is necessary prerequisite before its implementation.
Majority of the cross-section of senators who spoke on the motion harped on the need for the visa on entry policy to be properly domesticated.
Nigerians were really worried. The reason for the worry was because of the spate of insecurity in Nigeria. And for us having known that part of the insecurity came from elements coming outside and into Nigeria, to now have a visa policy that doesn't seem to be properly regulated was giving a lot of people a lot of jitters, because what it now meant was that anybody could just come in and actually cause mayhem.
This is part of what is happening, globally. It's what is in vogue, particularly countries that want to open their doors to investors and tourists. Saudi Arabia is beginning to operate this kind of policy. We've seen Dubai. Dubai has been, having this kind of policy, and you see how tourists go into Dubai.
There's nothing wrong with Mr. President going out there and saying something on behalf of all of us. But clearly, before it is perfected, the National Assembly should play its part, particularly those treaties that require legislation. So, Mr. President, without bedeviling this issue, I want to strongly support that we quickly ask the executive to bring a bill so that we can actually support the initiative that they are trying to put in place.
These days, when we have situations where the government can take an executive order and just pass an executive order and things are done as per the executive order being as good as a law, it is dangerous for us to allow this process to continue. And I'd like to join my colleagues to commend the mover of this motion and to insist that the treaty, the entire document of the treaty, be brought to the National Assembly.
What Mr. President said recently that I know is free visa for Africans to enter Nigeria. Mr. President, visa on arrival is a policy that has been employed by the Nigerian Immigration Service since 2012. And that means that if for whatever reason you are unable to get visa from your country of origin, you can fill the necessary forms and get to the airport or port of entry and get your visa. And so clearly, Mr. President, what we are debating here is free entry visa for Africans.
Ruling on the motion, Senate President Ahmad Lawan called on the executive to submit all treaties due for ratification.
There are other treaties and agreements that we have signed as a country. I think the Attorney General of the Federation should be able to forward those to the National Assembly for us to ratify them appropriately and give them the legal backing that they require.